So it came out this nice white creamy color, and I put it in parchment paper this time because I wanted to be able to do this to try and see if it's going to come out of the mold much easier. And ta-da! It did come out of the mold much easier. Now the mold is a little moist, but that's okay. Alright, so I'm going to put this on the scale real quick and see how heavy it came out to. Beautiful! 4 pounds, 3.5 ounces. Wow, wonderful, wonderful recipe. That made a lot of bars. So, now what I want to do is, I'm going to go ahead and pull the parchment paper down. Let me move this out of the way. Move breakfast out of the way. The reason I wanted to use the parchment paper was because I had heard it does this. Peels down, peels away, and there's my block of soap. Now, I'm going to go grab the gloves real quick because this is still pretty bad for the skin if I were to touch this directly. And so I'm going to put the gloves on. And I'm going to figure out where I want to put these because they need, my drying racks upstairs have the other 2 batches on them. So let me figure out where I want to put these. How about I've got to get another drying rack. These are some old plates that when the owner moved out, she left here. They're really ugly. So I'm going to go ahead and use those. Okay. So I want to look at, these are some really nice, interesting folds on the sides of where I folded the parchment paper up. All right, I'm going to take off the scrapings of the aluminum foil. So I'm going ahead and scraping that down. And now let me see if I'm smoothing out these edges here a little bit, taking off some of the, see how it's still really soft? But that's good though. I mean, it's not going to get much harder today if I left it in the mold anyways. So let's just take off some of these edges here, or smooth them out. Okay, let's see what it looks like on this side. Okay. Some little pieces have fallen off on this side, which is okay. Now let me go ahead and try and get all of this layer that had little pieces of aluminum foil. So just losing a little bit here off the top. Alright, looks pretty good. Not much. Lost a big chunk right there in the corner. It's okay. Alright. So, what I want to do is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so I sectioned off where I'm going to cut down. Okay, and I want to make sure that they look pretty even. Okay, awesome. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, pretty good. Now what I'm going to do is, let's see. And I'm going to cut it in half. So I'm going to take 10 bars out of this. So now I'm going to go by the line and just try and cut as straight as possible. Okay, here's our first one. Looks beautiful, actually. I told you, when I use tea leaves, I love the little markings inside. The striations are beautiful. I'm actually thinking, let me see, if I were to do this like this, the bars are going to be really long. If I were to go, even if I were to go like this, the bars would be really long. Alright, I think I like it better like that though. So I'm going to go ahead and do right down the middle of this one. Okay, so here's a bar. I think that's a pretty good size. These are probably going to be my biggest ones. And I like the little, on top, the little feature of how it's not perfectly smooth. These are great, actually. I think they look fantastic. Now, what I wanted to do was, someone told me that when they're nice and wet like this, just finished, and because I have the gloves on, to go ahead and smooth them out while they're wet. So shape them and make them smooth and give them nice smooth edges while they're wet, because they're pliable. You can shift it around. So yeah, it works actually really well. So here I am smoothing out, moving around, molding it a little bit. Okay, not bad. Not bad at all. I like both forms. I like the more raw looking one, and I like how it gets nice and smooth on this one too, doing that. Alright, so now I've got 2. So I think I'm going to get 10 bars out of this. Let me go ahead and finish cutting these. Let's try cutting it like this. And I like having it on the parchment paper a lot, because it's like I don't have to really worry that much about cleaning. I mean, I am going to still clean the counter, but I don't have to worry that much because I'm doing it right on top of this parchment paper like this. Okay, now it is still leaking a lot. It's very wet. Carefully. Oh, there we go. Okay. Interesting shape. Okay. 1. And they smell really good. I like them a lot. I'm really liking how they're smelling. These, in a couple of weeks, these are going to be great. I did not have a lot of leftover orange essential oil, so it's not going to be that heavy on the essential oil. Let me try cutting this one like this. It should be the same exact thing. Here we go. So there's 1 plate. There's 1 plate there. No, don't touch it. Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. Yeah, you heard me. Dog is almost licking the soap. She's gonna get poisoned.